Ladies and gentlemen, today we're working on arithmetic sequences, lesson 3-6, 4 vocab words to start off with. First one is sequence, an ordered list of numbers or objects called terms. Terms is another vocab word that is actually down here. Terms would be the numbers or the objects. So an ordered list of numbers or objects called terms, and the terms would be the numbers or objects. Okay. Arithmetic sequence, a sequence in which the difference between one term and another term is always the same. And a common difference would be that difference between two terms in an arithmetic sequence. Number 5, scrolling down quickly here. What is the common difference of each arithmetic sequence? The difference between 11 and 9, and the difference between 9 and 7, and the difference between 7 and 5 is the exact same. You know that that is 2, which is your answer. And you know it's an arithmetic sequence because it has the same common difference between all consecutive, or all terms that are next to one another. Between one term and another, and the terms have to be, the common difference has to be between each of the terms that are consecutive. Letter B, we go from -8 to -3, we go from -3 to 2, we go from 2 to 7. There is a common difference, and we're reading left to right, so it's very important that you understand we're reading left to right, because the common difference is going to be -5. Now, if we had this in... The common difference is not going to be -5, I'm sorry. The common difference is going to be 5 because we're increasing by 5 each time. If we had this in reverse, if we had 7, 2, -3, -8, then we would have a common difference of -5 because we're reading left to right and we're losing 5 between each of the terms. Okay, so hopefully we cleared that up for you. You read left to right, and if you're gaining 5 each time, it's a common difference of 5. Left to right, if you're losing 5, the common difference is -5. To the application of this, it says write a function that describes each arithmetic sequence, and we're going to start off with letter A, and I gave you the arithmetic sequence 6, 12, 18, 24. Yesterday, or the previous lesson, we worked with y equals mx plus b. You know what each of those letters represent. So just as a quick review, or just an application here of how the arithmetic sequence goes into this equation. Our input, or our x, is the order of the term in the sequence. So if we look at letter A, we have 6, 12, 18, 24. 6 is our first term, 12 is our second term, 18 is our third term, 24 is our fourth term. So your input is just simply going to be the number of term in the sequence, reading left to right. Slope, or m, right here, is going to be a common difference. So if you look at this, we have a common difference of 6, 6, 6, so the common difference is 6. And then the output would be the actual number of the arithmetic sequence. B is going to actually not be represented at all here because we're not adding a constant or subtracting a constant. It's always going to be, in this case, 0. So if you want to express B as 0, or where it crosses the y-intercept, it's always going to cross the y-intercept at point 0. So looking at letter A again, we have 6, 12, 18, and 24. We know our input is the order of the term in the sequence. So we're going to express this as x, because we don't really know what it's going to be because it can change. Remember, your inputs can be a whole bunch of different things. We know our m, our slope, is the common difference, and the common difference between all of these terms is 6. So we're going to go ahead and put a 6 here. I told you that there is no b, so you don't even have to express it, but you could use +0 if you would like. And the last thing we need to determine is the y, which is the actual number of the arithmetic sequence. And remember, this depends upon what the input is. So if we want to know what y is in this situation, and we want to know what y is when you get to the second term, we would input a 2. Y equals 6 times 2. Y equals 12. And again, sorry for the randomness of where I'm doing my work here because of the screen, and I want to make sure that you can see the whole screen. If we want to know what is the fourth term in this particular arithmetic sequence, we would say y equals the common difference times 4, and that would be 24. Okay, if we know, it's going to be fun, if we know that 18 is the actual number of the arithmetic sequence, and we know that 6 is the common difference, we want to know what term, or what is the input term we're talking about. We would divide by 6, we would divide by 6, 3 equals x. The third term is what's going to give us an output of 18. So, really not anything new, just a different way of analyzing arithmetic sequences using our slope-intercept or our y-intercept equation of y equals mx plus b. The one part I'm concerned about that's going to confuse you is the b. In this case, just ignore the b. There is going to be no b, or there is going to be no constant in the arithmetic sequence. In another video here later on, we will talk about how the b does come into play when referring to an arithmetic sequence. Good luck!